Okay, so this is the first video on how to create an email newsletter. It's kind of involved and there's a lot to go over. So this is going to be the first step, and the first step is to design your newsletter within Photoshop. If you're going to have your newsletter go into print as well, I would suggest to start off in Adobe InDesign or some other desktop publisher, though Adobe InDesign is pretty much the industry standard and the best way to go when it comes to print media. I would not use Microsoft Publisher. I would rather die than use Microsoft Publisher. So you don't want to do that. What you want to do is go ahead and create both, maybe that looks similar, but for right now I guess we're just going to stick to the newsletter within Photoshop. If you're familiar with Photoshop, I'm not going to go too deeply into how to design something. Of course, there's many layers that can go into creating one design. And so what you want to do is do your research and find a design that you like and then try to mimic it, but just don't steal it, but use it as inspiration. Okay, so what we have here is we have our latest email that we're sending out to people that registered for the Y Ministry Retreat in 2010 but have not registered for 2012. And what we're going to do is we're going to give them $15 off of registration if they register now. One thing to remember is when you're creating an email newsletter, you don't want to make your image size larger than about 720. So if you go to image size, you'll notice that the width is 720. I wouldn't go beyond that, or else I'll have to scroll from left to right. Nobody wants to do that. You can make it pretty much as long as you want. Here I have it going to 1450 pixels high. But they can scroll easily up and down, and people are used to doing that, and that's no problem. I wouldn't make it too long. It's kind of long, but it's not profusely long. So that's one tip right there. Once you've got your design down, what you want to do is you want to use slices. Now, no matter what Adobe Photoshop you have, I got like Adobe Photoshop 5.1 that came out with the Creative Suite 5.5, but the steps are the same in whatever Photoshop suite you have. So what you want to do first is use your slice tool, and you'll find that in your toolbar over here. And what you want to do is you want to cut your newsletter into different slices, different images. If you just do one image inside of an email, it'll take forever to load, and so what we want to do is make it easier on the viewer and the download time by slicing up the amount of images that you're going to use. So what we're going to do is go ahead and start off by making a cut, and so I'm going to go ahead and make this take the top banner. And another thing I can do is I can double click on this top slice, and I'm going to call it something like 1, because when it creates the image, I know that 1 is going to be the first image that I'm going to throw into the HTML, so it's just easy to remember. Click OK. I'm going to then go and create another slice right below it, and it's going to take the space of the next area. So scroll down. If I scroll down, you'll notice that it stopped right there. I want to double click on this one, and I'm going to go ahead and call it 2. Very good. Another thing that you're going to want to watch out for is where we sliced here, it doesn't always bump up next to the other image. Sometimes they overlap, and that'll really mess up your email in the HTML or CSS. So what you want to do is you want to zoom in really good, and you'll notice that I didn't do the slice well enough.